A multi-crore job scam uncovered in the national capital. Job aspirants were promised PSU jobs, given fake offer letters and then asked to pay a bribe to seal the deal. All this in the Krishi Bhavan building that houses the Agriculture Ministry.
Well, the Delhi police has busted a rather audacious attempt by these scamsters to go ahead and dupe a lot of people in the name of providing jobs in private sector undertakings, Navratna, like the ONGC. Now, the important aspect here is to note how these fraudsters, these scamsters actually used a high security Krishi Bhavan as one of the places, and they used to conduct interviews there.
While the scamsters have been apprehended, the incident sparks a bigger debate. Is this proof that young India is desperate for employment? That the youth will now pay bribes worth lakhs of rupees to get the elusive job? Just recently, over 2 crore aspirants applied for 90,000 railway jobs. Mumbai saw 2 lakh aspirants, including doctors and engineers, apply for over 100 police constable jobs. The scenario is similar in rest of the country. But even as the youth queue up for a job, any job, the centre maintains enough jobs are being created. Centre's data claims over 40 lakh jobs were created in 1 year in the formal sector, and that there is a similar job growth across sectors. Mirror now asks, if centre has been successful in creating jobs, why is young India still queuing up for jobs in such huge numbers? Why are the youth willing to pay money for a job? Let's debate.
Watching the Urban Debate on Mirror now, Faye D'Souza, thank you for joining us. The question about this scam that was conducted so elaborately and the people who responded to that scam raises the point of jobs in our country. Are we facing a job crisis? And we only need to look at the latest now calls for jobs or applications from the government of India, the various government avenues. And I want you to take a look at this. Railways. Now, the government of India opened 90,000 positions within the Indian Railways. 2.8 crore people applied for those 90,000 positions, and that's a total of over 300 per seat. The Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, 9,500 posts of typists, and they got 19.83 lakh applications, out of which 900 PhD holders, 23,000 MPhil holders, and 2.5 lakh graduates. The Haryana police opened up positions for constables, and this is all this year. And they were, among others, 2,000 MBAs, MTechs and law graduates among the 4,225 people who applied to become police constables. Mumbai police constable tryouts in April this year. Reportedly, nearly 2 lakh people applied for the 1,000 vacancies that were available. They were MBAs, engineers, postgraduates, B.Ed degree holders and computer science degree holders. And there were also 3 LLBs among them. They were trying out to be constables. West Bengal opened up a Pune application. 11,000 people applied for 70 posts. Uttar Pradesh Pune applications, 23 lakh candidates applied for 368 posts. Is this cause for concern? Do we actually have a job crisis on our hands? Joining me on the show, Santosh Mehrotra, Professor of Economics at the JNU University and the Jawaharlal Nehru University. Anupam is the spokesperson of Swaraj India. Zafar Sareshwala is the Chancellor of the Maulana Azad National Urdu University. Dr. Vasu HV is on the organization committee of the Karnataka Employment. Vikas Kumar is an SSC aspirant. Narayan Tripathi is a BJP spokesperson. Gautam Mukherjee is a senior journalist. I welcome all of you to this conversation and thank you for joining us. Opening statements from all of our guests. Professor Mehrotra, I beg your pardon, I'll start with you. Do you believe we're facing a job crisis? The data I called out of the applications that government jobs have received, this is higher than usual, but is it at a crisis level?
Please repeat. This incoming feed is not so good. Can you just repeat your last sentence, Faye?
Okay. My question to you is this, Professor Mehrotra.
Oh, it is almost certainly at Cross's level.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah. No, I got it.
Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I'm saying, yeah, of course it is very much at crisis level, and I have in my work been pointing to this, but I think what you've put together is actually very stunning stuff. It's really quite remarkable stuff what you sent, the research that you sent to me. It totally confirms the kind of analysis that shows up from the government's own data, the annual survey of the Labour Bureau, which has a sample size larger than the National Sample Survey. And the CMI's data is actually telling us pretty much the same things for the years 2017 and 18. So, you know, what your stories, the multiple stories you're telling us are saying pretty much what my analysis is telling me as well. So, on a national basis, the overall unemployment, open unemployment rate in our country went up from 2.2% to 3.4% between 2011 and 2015-16. But what is much more worrying is the youth unemployment rate and the educated youth unemployment rate. So you would see the following numbers, that the youth unemployment rate for general graduates, meaning having done general academic education, has jumped from 4.1% to 8.4%. For postgraduates, it's jumped from 5.3% to 8.5%. This is between 2011-12 and 15-16. For technical graduates, it has jumped from 5.5% in 2005 to 11%. And so on. I mean, it is very shocking. What you suggest, of course, reinforces what I think the overall numbers from the annual survey of the Labour Bureau tell us. So what you're seeing is greater and greater young people
Same question to Gautam Mukherjee, who is a senior journalist. Gautam Mukherjee.
But the non-agricultural jobs are not growing.
Gautam Mukherjee, do you believe we are at a crisis?
I think the statistical department is always producing data with a lag. It doesn't take into account enough of the informal sector. If you look at what this government has been doing since 2014, is they've been pouring huge amounts of money into infrastructure, which obviously employs a lot of people. Now, the other thing is, I think there is, what you spelt out right at the beginning of the show, is masses of people, some very overqualified, but looking for government jobs. The idea is you get a government job and that's it, you're set for life, you can't be fired, you're in a fairly cushy sort of work ethic, nothing much demanding, and so on. Whereas the real growth, which I think each of us can see, is in the services sector. Because as the digital economy goes up, and it is inevitably going up and up, the last mile is service by people, delivering services. It's extremely hard work. It's not like a government job. And a lot of people are not so keen on it. But there's plenty, I feel, of growth in the services sector, both visible now and in years to come. Crisis, yes, if you think that manufacturing, those days of labor-intensive manufacturing are pretty much over all over the world. So it's going to be machinery producing goods, but they have to be delivered. That's where the jobs will be. The thinking of where to look has to change. If it is government jobs, if it is formal sector jobs, yes, they're shrinking. They may even be at crisis proportions, and rightly so. We've got too many people in the government who are not very productive. In the private sector, in the formal private sector, they're fairly determined to go for efficiency.
All right.
And,
So,
you know,
Mr. Gautam Mukherjee, let me point out to you, while your explanation of what is going on would be very interesting, let me point out to you, and I'm reading here right now, a report submitted in Lok Sabha. Now, there were about 1,36,000 jobs added in July-September quarter of 2017. But you will notice that the April-June quarter has seen a 65% decline in the addition of jobs over January and March 2017. Now, in this decline, worst is the IT BPO sector and the services sector. So, while your analogy might work, unfortunately, the numbers don't support what you were just saying. The manufacturing sector, in fact, added the most jobs between July and September last year, followed by education, and construction was a sector that saw job losses. So if you're saying that infrastructure is being built across the country and that should have created jobs, it is not reflecting in the numbers. Now, let me bring in the government representative at this point. We have Narayan Tripathi, who is the BJP spokesperson, joining us out of Chennai. Mr. Tripathi, is there right now a crisis? Does the government recognize a crisis?
There is no crisis at all. There is
Mr.
no
Narayan
crisis
Tripathi,
at
I
all.
beg your pardon.
You
Does the
started off
government
saying that,
recognize
lot
a
of
crisis?
I said there is no crisis. As you said in the beginning, you said that a lot of people are applying for so many posts. See, the thing is that now it is technology driven. People apply online. Previously, they used to, even these vacancies do not go to the knowledge of so many people. Now it goes to all, and so that is the reason people go, they write and they online they apply. This is the main thing. You should be happy that more options are available for people. So you cannot definitely say that this is because of unemployment. I don't buy that argument. Number two is that here in last 4 years, our government has been concentrating on entrepreneurship, and you know very well that through Mudra loans, we have created huge opportunities, more than 4 lakh crores, almost 8 crore people, Mudra loans under issue has been given, and definitely self-employment has picked up, and all core industries have definitely grown, and the GDP has grown. So everything is going fine. There is no huge demand, and this even the prices have come down in the last 4 years of essential commodities. So I think this particular argument, for 900 applications, for 900 posts, there are lakhs and lakhs of people applying. I don't buy that argument.
Okay, so just a quick cross question, Mr. Tirupati. So you say that people are applying because now they find out and they're able to apply online. So these people are MPhils, MTechs, MBAs, doctors, lawyers in some cases, applying for the job of police constables, peons and other such clerical jobs. Do you think it's because they suddenly found out that these jobs were available? You don't see that as a problem?
See, it is not, I don't say that it happened in 1 year, okay? It has been gradually increasing, and that is the reason. And you cannot say that these people are unemployed. Whoever applies, they are not unemployed. They will be already in some unorganized job, and we don't have any statistics on unorganized employment for almost this 50 years. So definitely, you cannot say that people are starving because of employment opportunity. In Chennai, we don't find people. We are really starving for people to work. And all the major industries, core industries, have definitely grown very well. Agriculture has grown, the core industries have grown, and as my friend Mr. Mukherjee said, the service industry is also growing. More entrepreneurship. See, that is the concept we developed in this country in the last 4 years. You keep one person for one Mudra loan,
1.3 million people.
It will be amounting to more than,
Okay, so 1.3, according to the World Bank, 1.3 million people join the workforce every month. So we need to create those many jobs. So you are telling me that we've created 1.3 million entrepreneurs with Mudra loans?
See, if there are no jobs, just imagine what this country would have been. You can't say that there are no jobs. People
tell
aspire
you.
for more benefits, so
We would have had increasing, we would have had crime problems, we would have had people going out into the street and lynching, doing gauraksha, doing things like that because they have no jobs. Now, answer the question directly. You are saying mudra loans. I'm telling you the World Bank tells us that 1.3 million people need jobs every month.
No, if you want to talk politics, we'll talk politics. Gaurakshas and all those things, see, don't have it here. You want to discuss about that, we will discuss about that. No issues.
All right, so that's your answer. Vikas Kumar is an SSC aspirant, Mr.
You mean to say
Vikas
that
Kumar,
unemployed people are
Narayan Tirupati of the BJP
criminals?
believes
You mean
we
to say
don't.
unemployed people are criminals?
Well, Mr. Tirupati, it is a known fact if someone goes without employment for long enough, they will turn to crime. But Vikas Kumar is an SSC aspirant. Mr. Kumar, go ahead. Do you believe that there is no problem at all?
तिरुपति सर ने अभी बोला कि यहाँ पे अभी जॉब्स को लेके कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अगर हम जॉब की रेशियोज की लेके बात करें तो एसएससी में जो वैकेंसी आती है अराउंड 3000 4000 आती है और जो एस्पिरेंट्स होते हैं जो अप्लाई करते हैं अराउंड 45 लाख स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जो अप्लाई करते हैं. तो आप ये इस तरीके से क्या मतलब गवर्नमेंट कितनी जॉब्स जनरेट कर रही है जो एक कैंडिडेट को मिल रही है? अगर फॉर एग्जांपल 3000 कैंडिडेट्स अगर जॉब लेते हैं तो बाकी के जो 45 लाख में से अराउंड 44 लाख के जो भी बचते हैं वो कहाँ जाएंगे? उनके लिए क्या कर रही है गवर्नमेंट?
नहीं, इनका कहना है, एक मिनट विकास जी, इनका कहना है, मिस्टर तिरुपति का कहना है, मिस्टर तिरुपति डोंट वरी, आई विल ट्रांसलेट फॉर यू. इनका कहना है कि अभी जो गवर्नमेंट जॉब आपको इसलिए चाहिए होता है क्योंकि उसमें ज्यादा मेहनत नहीं करनी होती है. अगर आप प्राइवेट में जाके देखोगे आपके पास बहुत काम है. मुद्रा लोन अगर लेंगे तो आप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कर सकते हैं. तो 1 second, Mr. Tirupati, calm down. This is an inclusive show. I will translate for you. Don't worry. If you want, I'll translate to Tamil also if you like. I can also translate to Kannada.
No,
I can translate actually. That is not a problem.
You translate into Hindi. No?
So, Mr. Vikas Kumar, Mr. Tirupati, 1 second. I just want to be able to listen to Vikas. विकास जी, इनका कहना है कि अभी आपको गवर्नमेंट की जॉब इसलिए चाहिए क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट की जॉब में आप आराम कर सकते हो, लेकिन आप प्राइवेट की जॉब भी ले सकते हो जो आप नहीं कर रहे हैं. आप जाके तो मुद्रा लोन लेके आप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कर सकते हो. आप ये सब क्यों नहीं करते?
मैम, मैंने ह्यूमैनिटीज से 12th किया, उसके बाद दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी से मैंने पॉलिटिकल साइंस ऑनर्स किया है. और उसके बाद से आप बताइए मेरे को, आप इस तरीके से एजुकेशन दे रहे हो कंट्री के अंदर और उसके बाद आप कह रहे हो पब्लिक सेक्टर में जाके जॉब करो. मुझे 15,000 से ज्यादा कौन देगा? मेरे पास सिर्फ एक जॉब बचती है तो एक टीचिंग में बचती है या फिर मैं गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर के लिए अप्लाई करूं. इसके अलावा अगर मुझे प्राइवेट सेक्टर में मेरे फील्ड में कोई जॉब है तो मुझे बताइए. त्रिपुटी सर के पास अगर मेरा आंसर है तो मैं अपनी एजुकेशन के अकॉर्डिंग अपनी जॉब देखूंगा ना. मैंने पॉलिटिकल साइंस ऑनर्स अपने इंटरेस्ट के अकॉर्डिंग किया, मुझे अपने इंटरेस्ट के अकॉर्डिंग जॉब भी तो चाहिए. और वो काम किसका है? गवर्नमेंट का है ना जॉब देना.
Mr. Tirupati, according to Vikas Kumar, let me translate for you. Vikas Kumar says that he has studied humanities and then he has studied political science. You wanted a translation? Let me translate. Then he has studied political science in Delhi University. Given his education, there is no private sector job for him. He has the option of either teaching or working with the government. His question also is this: isn't it the government's job to provide jobs? Please answer in any language you please.
Yeah, see, I don't want this debate to happen in Hindi. I understand Hindi. I have understood what he has said. Then I will start talking in Tamil. Then nobody will understand. It is my comfortable language. But
No, I will understand. Don't worry.
Let us debate only in English. Number one.
No, Mr. Tirupati, if you are going to distract like this, let me point out that on this channel we allow people to speak in whatever language is their language of comfort. Now, Vikas Kumar likes to speak Hindi, that is his right. You want to speak Tamil, speak Tamil, I will translate. If somebody wants to speak Kannada, that is also their right. Now, go ahead. Tell me what your response is.
Fine. இந்தியாவில் தொடர்ந்து கல்லூரியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய
Tirupati sir, I will understand your English. You can also speak in English.
ஏற்ற முறையில்
No, 1 second, I'll translate.
I can talk in
go
English.
ahead, Mr. Tirupati.
You also please talk in English. That is why I said. You also talk in English. See, my mother tongue is Tamil. Your mother tongue is
Mr.
Hindi.
Tirupati, why isn't the government creating jobs for young people? Don't
in
waste my
India-
time on
in
national
India-
television.
No. You are wasting my time. In India, the professional courses were given to the students wrongly. They should have opted for the jobs which are in demand. They should have studied for that. That is the problem. Our education system is itself a problem. Everybody goes for engineering or everybody goes for education which do not have jobs. There should have been some balance, which is not happening. That is why we have brought down this skill management, skill training, all these things we have done. That is what we are saying.
What is the skill? What is the skill you recommend that students should do?
Look for.
What is this? So until 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when students were taking admission, engineering was the job to do. Now we have engineers who don't have jobs. So what should we do? Not study political science. What should we study, Mr. Tirupati?
Why engineers don't have jobs? Because they have taken this particular engineering, mechanical or whatever it is, the demand does not match. This is the problem. There are lesser number of jobs, more engineers are there.
So अगर सर इसका डिमांड अगर इस कोर्स का डिमांड नहीं है तो फिर आप पढ़ा क्यों नहीं, इसको बंद कर दीजिए इंडिया के अंदर.
This is the cause of unemployment. People don't
तो एजुकेशन सिस्टम कौन चेंज करे? गवर्नमेंट चेंज करेगी, पब्लिक चेंज करेगी.
That should be.
Mr. Tirupati, who runs the education system? Whose job is it to run the education system?
It will.
Whose job is it to run the education system?
This is the job of the state governments. Definitely also the central government. But you spoiled the whole thing in the last 50 years and you
so
want
if it will not happen in 2 or 3 years, you are telling me that the demand for engineers has changed in 2 or 3 years.
में कुछ गलत हुआ तो मेरी गलती है.
Definitely.
50 years if something going wrong in last 50 years, this is my fault.
Engineering colleges have been closed. In Tamil Nadu, lot of engineering colleges have been closed.
Wow. Okay, let me bring the educationalists into this conversation right now. Zafar,
you should understand that.
Zafar Sareshwala is a chancellor with the university. Zafar ji, Narayan Tirupati of the BJP believes that you should just close down the courses that are not relevant anymore. Political science, humanities, history, art, engineering, we should just close down.
What I said.
You said you've just closed it down in Tamil Nadu, which is a great thing to do. Zafar ji, from an education point of view, and you and Professor Mehrotra from universities, tell us how that works. Because at the end of the day, a student begins preparing for engineering in the 6th standard. By the time he graduates from his engineering, which is a 4-year course, the demand seems to have changed. What is he supposed to do? And is it not the government's job at all? Zafar ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, Faye, anyway, I've come now. I've just completed my term as Chancellor, so I'm ex-Chancellor now. But I spent 3 years in the university. And the first year, in the first month, the very first month when I went there, and I'm coming from industry, so I was wearing both the hats. I have all my life interviewed youth, given jobs to thousands of people. That was my job, and it is again I'm back to that. I'll talk about all the things. Now there is always, I mean, when we were in the job market about 30 years back, even then there was mad scramble to get a government job. In fact, लोग लड़कियां नहीं देते थे अगर आपके पास government job नहीं है. Lot of people used to think you are unemployed till you don't have a government job. So that situation is even now. That's one thing. Well, I would say the situation is not very alarming, nor it is very good. Nor the situation is very good, nor it is very bad. It is in between. Now, a couple of things. I was a chancellor of the university and I was also interviewing youth before that, and even I am doing it now. The problem is that our graduates who come out of the university, the employable level is not even 10%. So, in fact, we in industry have to run and to bring them abreast with what's happening. So there is fault in our education system also, which has been going on for years. So our youth are not employable. I mean, you get an engineer today or you get a BCom, it is very difficult for him to do the job. That is one thing. Second, unfortunately, it's happening since last so many years, and this was abysmal distraction for me when I went to the university. It opened my eyes. For last so many years, at least 10, 15 years, government is not bringing people in permanent jobs. They only give them contract. So in my university, in Maulana Azad National Urdu University, we have so many of them who are PhDs, but they are on a contract job. I mean, they come to the university, teach the same thing,
Yes.
but they get 25-30,000 rupees of salary. But
Okay.
a permanent professor doing the same thing gets 200,000. And that is not only in teaching.
Yes.
So many
Okay,
things.
so let me take
People
this
are not
question.
being
Okay,
made
fair enough. Let me
permanent.
take the question
That is
back to
also a big
Professor
issue.
Mehrotra, who's with JNU. Yes, Professor Mehrotra, respond to what Zafar Sareshwala has said and also respond to the comment that you should not be signing up for courses that are not lucrative.
I'll respond to all of that, but I'll begin at the very beginning. I want to make 5 points. My first point refers to, I think, the first two speakers making the claim that the data that is made available and which I was presenting actually does not capture the unorganized sector and it does not capture the informal sector. I'm sorry to inform them that unfortunately the data does capture the informal sector, the data does capture the unorganized sector, because these are sample surveys of households across the entire economy of 160 odd households. Government data, and as well one set of surveys, annual surveys of the government, and another set of survey done by the CMI. That's point one. So please don't try and mislead us by telling us that unorganized sector data is not being captured. Point one. Point two. It's not that jobs are not growing. Some people have said, oh, jobs are growing. Of course their jobs are growing. Yes, jobs are growing. But the real question is, are the jobs growing at least at the rate at which the entrance into the labor force are growing? In other words, if young people are getting educated and they are entering the labor force after 15 at whatever level, after whatever level of education, are the jobs growing for them? Are the jobs growing at least at the rate? They are not, because that's what the data is showing. Otherwise, the open unemployment rate would not be increasing. The number of educated people is growing at a very rapid rate. I'll come back to that in a minute. Point three. Government jobs on the net have not been increasing. Now, you showed many advertisements where, government jobs are advertised. But when government jobs are being advertised, they are also for, most of the time, they are for jobs which, people have retired, people have moved on, they've been vacant. So, in other words, these are jobs which were earlier filled and have become vacant. These are not new jobs. So let's just remind ourselves that in 20 years, government jobs have not grown, and I can demonstrate this if you want in your next program with government data. The fourth point. Someone mentioned we are conducting skills training. You know what the placement rate for skills training of government programs is? The PMKVY, which is a much touted program, the placement rate by the government's own data is 12%. In other words, of all young people being trained, 12% are getting jobs. The Chancellor, towards the end, mentioned real problems, and I want to remind your audience that the tertiary enrollment rate in the last 10 years for the age group 19 to 24, which is the relevant age cohort for higher education, the enrollment rate has increased from about 11% in 2006 to about 26%. So more people are getting educated, fewer jobs are being generated. The result is higher rates of unemployment, which I began by talking about. Higher rates of
all right. Let's allow for a rebuttal, Professor Mehrotra. Allow for a rebuttal.
You may deny them if you wish.
And we also have Dr. Vasu, who hasn't spoken yet. Dr. Vasu is an organizing committee member, Karnataka for Employment. Dr. Vasu, do you see a problem at all? Or do you think that right now the problem is being exaggerated?
Well, before going to what I feel, I just want to say what Mr. Narendra Modi had felt during the run-up towards his Lok Sabha election in 2014. So at that time he had very clearly said in Shankanad rally in Agra that Indian youth are not getting the jobs, Indian youth are not getting the jobs for which they are qualified and they are interested. So in that rally in Agra, when he was actually announced as a prime ministerial candidate, he said that if his party comes to power, they'll create jobs up to the tune of 1 crore jobs per year. So now let us not make this a political issue. As the BJP spokesperson said, this jobless growth did not start when Narendra Modi assumed power. It started during UPA 2 regime. At that time itself, the jobless growth resulted in slow growth rate of the jobs. But Narendra Modi, he promised during his Lok Sabha election that this scene will be changed. We want to know now whether that scene is changed according to the government data. Not, as Professor Malhotra said, not that there are no jobs.
Allow
no
Mr. Tirupati to respond.
But whether they are sufficient, that is one. No, that is one. Secondly, madam, the other thing
Mr.
is no.
One second, Dr. Vasu. One second, Dr. Vasu.
Yeah.
1 second, Dr. Vasu. Mr. Tirupati, please respond to that, and then Dr. Vasu can make his second point.
My argument is this. We have definitely said that we have promised employment and we have given it. That's what we have been saying. And the education, as my friend, he said, more number of people are getting educated, they are getting degrees every year because number of institutions have also cropped up very high and the job opportunities towards that education, whether it is engineer or whoever it is very less. That is the main problem. You cannot say in the NEET exams, more than 1,12,000 students wrote NEET exams for aspirant for medicine this year in Tamil Nadu. But only 6,000 people were able to get medicine. Does it mean that they are not qualified? It is not so. They have written.
No. So are you saying we should stop educating our children?
6,000 seats are available. That's it. No, that's what I am telling you. No.
Are you saying we should stop educating our children?
Jobs, there should be some linkage. No, see, this is what you are trying to misinterpret what I have said. The other round also you misinterpreted. What I am trying to say is, you have to find a way that whoever studies, the students should get a job according to the education, and the education should also be in such a way that the students are placed in the jobs because suppose very good. Who's going to do that? Engineering students have passed out in Tamil Nadu. Only you don't have that much of job. This is because of the parents. They want all their sons to become an IT engineer. They want all their sons to become a doctor. How is it possible? So we have to educate the government.
One second. Mr. Tirupati.
Definitely.
Mr. Tirupati, this is not, please don't blame the parents. Nobody becomes a doctor because your parents want you to. These students have to work very, very hard. Do you know how difficult it is to get a seat in a medical college or an engineering college? Do you know how difficult it is to pay those fees? Do you know how difficult it is to actually pass those exams and then for you to turn around and say it's the parents' fault for making everybody an engineer and now there's no jobs? Dr. Vasu, go ahead. What's your second point?
That is what after NEET has come.
Yes, this is not surprising. This is not at all surprising because if you cannot create jobs, you will have to create
Dr.
data.
Vasu, please.
So that is what the present regime is doing. When you cannot create jobs, you will have to cook up, you have to create data. That is what the present government is doing. Let us leave it aside, but I just want to respond to what the self-employment thing is
I have not spoken
being
about
spread.
any data. People here
I'll
are
just
talking
come to
about
you.
data.
Yeah.
And I don't buy the argument of,
No, you said about Mudra loans. You said about Mudra loans. You said that the 8 crore, you said 8 crore people have been given Mudra loans. That is a data. But I just, I do. No, you just listen to me.
Do you deny that?
I don't deny that crores of people.
Do you deny that?
No, just listen to me. Why are you so scared about? Why are you so scared about my point? Just listen to me. I don't deny that
Me?
crores of people
Care.
have been given mudra loans, but the fact is there are three types of mudra loans. There is Shishu, there is the Kishore and
No,
Tarun
one
loans.
second.
And 90% of them have been given. 90% of
12
them
crores,
have been given
Shishu,
only
12
Shishu
crores,
loans.
23
and the
lakhs,
average loan,
13,936
our average
as
loan,
on 3/8/2018.
No, Mr. Tirupati, please don't interrupt.
See, you have given a data.
Mr. Tirupati, please don't
under
interrupt.
Mudra.
Let him
And
speak.
when
I can't hear
I am
him.
giving one more data. Why are you so much scared? Yes. So 90% of them have got only the Shishu
Why should I
loan,
be scared?
and the average loan that was given there is from 19,000 to 23,000. In which a person who wants to open up a self-employment can do only a pakoda employment. So when this is the thing. So when this is the actual
You
issue,
that is
you are
bad?
just saying crores of people
You are
have been
mocking-
given
you are
mudra
mocking at
loans
the
and
person
crores
who
of
is
people
selling pakoda?
have become self-employment.
Okay. All right. Anupam has not spoken yet. Just to respond to you, Mr. Tirupati, on the pakoda thing.
We have told clearly that we are not against this pakoda thing, but why don't you give the social security to the people who are selling pakodas? When you cannot do that, you are only saying that everybody can get an employment
people
in
who are selling
through Mudra
vegetables,
scheme.
they were taking loan from
Anupam, please.
people.
It is not
you
fact.
know,
So-
they were taking loan from people for 10%.
No, all
Now
right.
it is
Stop,
very
stop,
clear.
stop, Mr. Tirupati. Mr. Tirupati, this is a job conversation, not a pakoda conversation. We are not discussing pakodas. I'll tell you why.
doesn't matter
Because people
whether-
who
it-
make
it doesn't matter how
pakodas
much,
put their stalls haphazardly on the street without permissions. 1 second. People who sell pakodas don't have PF. They don't have medical insurance. And that is not, you have started from saying we are sending our children into engineering and medical science and that's why they don't have jobs. And you support the pakoda argument. What would you like us to do? Train our children to make pakodas? What is this argument we're having? Why can't we respect the topic and the severity of the topic? Anupam, spokesperson of Swaraj India, I apologize for making you wait so long. Please go ahead. Where do you stand on this argument?
Look, Faye, we are indeed facing a crisis situation, I think. And whatever the government spokesperson may say, whatever absurd and shocking arguments which he has been making for the last 15 minutes, I've been hearing all those, whatever he might say, the data speaks for itself. The fact is, youth unemployment is the single largest issue facing the country today. The largest issue facing the country today, there is simmering anger among the youth. The youth, especially the one aspiring for jobs, are agitated today. And the most unfortunate part is that instead of addressing the issue, the government is not ready to even acknowledge it. The government is clueless. It has no plans on how to do what to do. And this from a government which we elected to power on a dream promise of 2 crores jobs annually. Look, we have this data which the government itself presented in the parliament, where it said that there are over 24 lakh sanctioned but vacant posts in the government job sector. 24 lakhs. The problem is the government is not notifying those jobs. Even at all, when they notify those jobs, there is delay. Even if there is delay and there are examinations, then there is paper leak. Even if there is paper leak, then the news of corruption, massive irregularities. We have been hearing all these news for the last so many months. And who is to blame for it? Anyone has to be, the accountability has to be set somewhere. The buck, of course, stops with the government. You cannot make such absurd logic about things we have been hearing the last 15 minutes. And you know, this is not just
right,
cheating
and I just want to
with
pick
the
up
dreams of specific individual youth. This is about cheating the future of the country. This is the most anti-national thing to do. What the government is doing.
I want
today.
Vikas to respond to what
there
you're
is such a
saying.
crisis
Okay, all right,
situation.
Anupam, I want
And the
Vikas to
government
respond to what you're saying.
which made this
Vikas
logic
is an
pay
SSC aspirant, if I may.
One single point. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Vikas is an SSC aspirant and he has experienced personally all of the things you're talking about. Vikas, ये जो बात है cheating की, exam cancel हो जाती है, results cancel हो जाते हैं, जो SSC के exam specifically के साथ हुआ है इस साल, क्या आपको लगता है कि इससे गवर्नमेंट ने आपको चीट किया हुआ है, आपके फ्यूचर को चीट किया है, देश के फ्यूचर को चीट किया हुआ है?
मैम एसएससी में बी ग्रेड ऑफिसर्स की ज्वाइनिंग होती है और इसके अकॉर्डिंग अगर हम अभी हमारा एग्जाम होने वाला था अगस्त में, जो लीक की वजह से अभी पोस्टपोन्ड हो गया, वो भी पोस्टपोन्ड करवाया गया। गवर्नमेंट ने कोई एक्शन लिया, हमने प्रोटेस्ट किया, 18 दिन रोड पे बैठे। उसके बाद से जाके गवर्नमेंट के कानों पे थोड़ी बहुत जू रहेगी और वो भी फिर या भी कोर्ट में केस चल रहा है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, और वहां पे भी सीबीआई के वकील तक को वहां पे जज ने फटकारा है। और मतलब कहने का मतलब ये कि गवर्नमेंट कोई भी एक्शन नहीं कर रही। मतलब इतनी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स, मैम एसएससी का ही पेपर लीक नहीं हो रहा, यहाँ पे डेली कोई ना कोई पेपर लीक हो रहा है। अब अगर आप डेली कोई न्यूज़पेपर देखें, कोई ना कोई पेपर डेली लीक होता है। आज भी एक कल भी एक गिरोह पकड़ा गया जो दिल्ली में कृषि भवन के वहां पे पकड़ा गया है। तो मैम ये पेपर लीक तो इनके डेली की कहानी है, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट इसके लिए एक्शन क्या कर रही है? कुछ भी नहीं कर रही है। आप डेली न्यूज में आ रही है चीजें, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है इसके लिए? और अभी त्रिपति सर बोल रहे थे कि इंजीनियरिंग डॉक्टर, आप वहां बता दीजिए ना, वहां पे कितनी जॉब है, टीचिंग में कितनी जॉब है?
And also, yeah, I have one person on the phone line who's been waiting for a while. Rafa Muhammad has called in from Kerala. Rafa Muhammad, go ahead, please.
Ma'am.
Rafa Muhammad, go ahead. We can hear you.
I'm a BTech graduate, just passed out.
Yes.
And one among the
Yes.
headlines, queuing up for the job.
Okay. Have you got a job? Why haven't you got a job?
Yes, madam, I'm one among the job
All right,
seekers, and even 90% of my colleagues and even seniors are they're just searching for the jobs.
And this is private and public sector?
It's PSC and SSC.
Right, there seems to be an audio problem. Yes. Okay. Okay, so this is a BTech who says 90% of his class is still looking for a job. And I want to open this up. Gautam Mukherjee hasn't responded since he first spoke. Gautam Mukherjee, do you want to respond to this?
There is no doubt a changing scenario. If you look back and you say, okay, initially when we were socialist, it was never mind the profit, let's provide employment. So, when you needed one person, you had 5 people employed. And that was the principle. I've heard a number of people say, this is the job of the government. Yes, it was once when our growth rate was 2%. And we were actually at inflation of 20%. Today, when we're looking at all kinds of things that were never talked of in the public domain, nobody talked of the fiscal deficit and the current account deficit and the amount of money you had in reserve in dollars and the growth rate in GDP and all of these international rating agencies.
No, Gautam Mukherjee, just stay on point, stay on point.
We have become globalized to an extent. We have become globalized to an extent.
If we are globalized, Gautam Mukherjee, then we should be, then private sector should be booming, then businesses should be expanding, then we should be creating jobs in both the private and the public sector. Nobody is saying that the government should create jobs out of socialism. I'm saying if we truly were a world power, if we truly were 8.2 GDP, we should have enough jobs for all of us. We should have enough raises. We should be making a lot of money. Where is that?
No,
Address
how
that.
it works is
Nobody's asking for charity.
If we are going to look at the statistics, Faye, one moment. If we're going to look at the statistics, then how is it that the service sector now takes care of over 50% of the economy? And how is it that agriculture has come down to under 20%? And how is it manufacturing is only 12%? If you look at manufacturing and building construction as in residences and offices,
I'll tell you,
it's about the same. And so, you see, the world is changing.
I'll tell you why.
And we
All
have
right,
to
Mr.
respond to
Mukherjee,
that
Mr.
kind
Mukherjee,
of
I'll tell you
world.
why.
And any
Because
amount of banding
because
statistics
children
is
of
not going to change
farmers,
anything
Mr. Mukherjee. Mr. Mukherjee, because children of farmers and children of construction workers and children of carpenters went out and did engineering degrees because they wanted to join the IT sector. They went out and got college educations because they wanted to work in the services sector, and the services sector was booming. But the services sector has not boomed for a couple of years now. Anyone who wants to respond to that, I'm opening this up. Please raise your hand. I saw Santosh Mehrotra's hand go up at one point. Also Dr. Vasu. Santosh Mehrotra, do you want to respond to that, please?
Yeah. Yes, indeed, absolutely. Mr. Mukherjee makes a good point that it is not the job of the government to generate jobs. And he's right, there are far too many people at lower levels of government in many government departments. Having said that, I think Mr. Mukherjee will need to recognize that in the government, we need more doctors, more nurses, more teachers, more judges, more policemen. If the state is going to become more effective and efficient in enabling the private sector to generate jobs, then the state has to have more people as judges and as policemen and as teachers and as nurses. So the government has to create more jobs than it has been creating, with all due respect, sir. Point one. Point two, it is the government's job to ensure that private investment is rising so that jobs in the private sector are growing. But private investment has systematically come down over the period since 2011. Private investment has not picked up. Some speakers have rightly pointed out that government investment in infrastructure has been increasing. It has generated jobs by building houses in rural areas, houses in urban areas. It's a very good thing. But the fact of the matter is, construction jobs overall have been rising less slowly than those who are looking for jobs. So there were people who were leaving agriculture at a very fast rate until 2012 because construction jobs were growing. Post 2012, construction jobs have not been growing fast enough, and those who want to leave agriculture can't leave agriculture. So young people who gotten educated in the interim are saying that we are in agriculture when they don't want to be in agriculture. Their parents don't want to be in agriculture. The numbers in agriculture are rising. What an irony. What an irony.
Right. Professor Mehrotra, allow Mr. Tirupati to answer. Mr. Tirupati, answer. Go ahead. Mr. Tirupati, answer, please, for the government.
Yeah. See, I think, I would request this debate should not mislead the youngsters, the youth of India, that if you finish college, we will get a government job. I think we are heading towards that in this debate. I never said that we should close down all the professional courses and all those things. It was being misinterpreted by you many times. I never said like that. And why these advocates, why these law students, why these engineers, they opt for constables? That is the problem. Why? Because our education system, really it was bad. Now we have to change it. And you are blaming the government, and my friend, he was mocking at almost 8 crore people who have taken Mudra loans. In my hometown, I have got a lot of vegetable vendors who were taking loans, usurp loan, every day they were paying more than 10 to 15% through Mudra loans. They have developed their lifestyle, and they are doing mineral water business. They do lot of business, small businesses. We have to understand that this entrepreneurship concept has been created and well developed. And I don't think we are doing justice for these schemes.
You are telling me that engineering students are not getting jobs. You want them to take Mudra loans and sell vegetables?
No, that is what
you want them to sell vegetables?
And that is what you are again misinterpreting.
What do you want them to do?
To say is that we should see that, yeah, that's what, number of jobs. So the engineering students who the jobs has to match with the the education system. It is not matching.
And who's going to do that? So you're saying close down the engineering system.
Lakh of people are studying engineering. What is this? You create.
So what? You want to shut down the engineering colleges then?
Youngsters to concentrate on some other thing.
Who's going to create more jobs?
Why do you want all the students
Who's
to
going to
study
create
only
more jobs?
engineering? You make them to go for law. You make them to go for some
You
other
just said that you
course.
should not
That is
study
the
history
problem.
and humanitarian
Now,
studies.
more
So
than
what do you
2
want them to
lakh,
study?
more than 2 lakh
Pakoras.
vacancies.
What do you want them to study? Mr.
Lot of
Tirupati, tell us what to study.
down.
What do you want us to study? What do you want us to study? Tell us what to study.
The governments of all the states, the state governments has to chart out a plan that they have to see to it that the students study according to the jobs available. That is what I am trying to say. How the
What is this job available? What is this job available? So you are saying, hang on. So you are saying that there are engineering colleges, medical colleges, there are humanitarian studies colleges, there are liberal arts studies colleges, but if the demand for engineers has not gone up because engineering companies have not expanded, so what do? Close the number of applications? Open only 1,000 seats? Open only 1,000 seats in medical science?
Students.
What do you want us to do? I don't understand your suggestion.
No, the other way. No, that's what. It is the other way. There are more number of engineering students. They are not able to get jobs because there are no jobs in that particular sector. That is the problem.
Why are there no jobs?
We have to teach the
Why are there no
entire
jobs?
public that
Why
the
are there
state
no jobs in that sector?
That this is the problem. The education system is so.
Why are there no jobs in the sector? Why are there no jobs in that sector?
Why means what? Well, no, why means what? I don't understand. In architecture,
Why
people,
means what?
We need only
You
10,000
understand?
people every year, but more
If
than a
people are
lakh
not
and
building-
10,000 people are studying.
Why?
Is that right? I don't
No,
understand.
Mr. Tirupati, if we are building the
We-
kind of
okay,
infrastructure
we
that you
want
claim
1
we are
lakh
building,
people,
we
but
need
10 lakh
architects,
people-
we need
10 lakh
engineers,
students are
we
studying.
need civil engineers.
10 lakh students are studying.
Mr. Tirupati. So let's shut
I
down all
think,
the colleges.
you
What sort of an
understand.
analogy is this?
You are very clever, but you don't want to understand.
No.
I know you will understand.
All right, I have to wrap this
I know
up,
you will
and I've
understand, but you
realized
don't
that we're
want
going
to
to keep
understand.
going round in circles.
There
I just
should
want to
be some
point out
balance.
one thing, that if Mr. Tirupati is to be taken seriously, and if he believes that we don't need so many engineers, we don't need so many architects, we don't need so many doctors, it means that our country is not really growing at 8.2%. Because if it was, and we were building that much infrastructure, we would need civil engineers, we would need architects, we would need more doctors, we would need more nurses. Now, if we look, for example, at the doctor to patient ratio in our country, we'll realize we don't have enough. We don't have enough policemen to the number of people we have in this country. The army is in fact understaffed. Every single essential resource in our country is in fact understaffed. The private sector, we all know, has been laying people off because business has been bad. If in fact we were booming and surging, like we are being told we are booming and surging, then we should have all got fat raises this year, and we should have been hiring in each of our offices. We should have hired a bunch of new people. You should have got 4 calls from headhunters offering you alternate employment and trying to poach you from your current job. Have you got it? There are 1 million people joining our workforce every month. 1 million new people who are competing with the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds who have been there for so long. Somebody is going to lose their job because we have not created any new jobs. Everybody who goes to work today knows what the sentiment is like. Now, it's a very carefully arranged thing that there is no hard data in our country. The Labour Ministry doesn't put out hard data. The Labour Ministry themselves have accepted that we don't have a clear picture from a government's point of view on unemployment in our own country. And that is actually very convenient, because then we can actually trade anecdotal evidence, saying, I know a guy who got a job, and you can say, I know a guy who lost his job, and we'd both be right. If in fact we are growing as much as we are being told we are growing, then everybody should have a job, then it should be good that we have students who work so hard to study engineering and study medical science and become nurses and architects and civil engineers and mechanical engineers, and they learn to design rocket ships. That's the country of the future. We can't possibly be saying that we shouldn't allow so many of them to study engineering because there are no engineering jobs at the end of it. That is a ridiculous argument. We can't be telling students that don't study political science because there's no job at the end of it. For heaven knows there are jobs as politicians. There's a crisis. And the scary part about this crisis is that we have a government that refuses to accept there is a crisis. We will never begin fixing this if we don't accept we have a problem. Thanks for watching.